Oh, there we go. Oh, there's two of me. Okay. So, first question. Um, I think the major highlights, probably when they see the ghost for the first time in scene one, when like Horatio and all of them and the guards see the ghost. That was like the like establishing scene. I think that kind of set the tone for like the whole play. And then I think like the inauguration when he was when like the uncle, what's his name? Well, when the uncle was getting like inaugurated, and then Hamlet was getting really mad at him and the mom for getting over his dad's death so soon. I think those are two of like the biggest scenes. Yeah, and that's incest, which is also weird. Yeah, yeah, and I think at the end of Act One, unless this is going into Act Two, but I'm pretty sure it's Act One. Um, when they find out, or when there's like the ghost tells Hamlet that it was actually his uncle who killed the king, and so that was like a huge turning point because then that also like sets the theme for the whole thing as well. Yeah, right. Yeah, and also a big part about Act One is that it establishes that there's like some sort of like beef between like Denmark and Norway, and so the son of so both the kings of Denmark and Norway, they both got killed, and then both of their brothers took control of the two like countries or whatever. And so then the sons, so Hamlet, and then what was the other one's name? Well, yeah, me too. But Hamlet, and then was it Fortinbras? Is that the one? I think that might be it. They sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, they're both kind of going against their uncles because they're the one from Norway is trying to get his land back that was stolen from Denmark, and Hamlet is trying to be with Orpheus. Anyways, yeah. So those are some big scenes, I think. To okay. Yeah, I don't think that's in Act One. Actually, I'm not really sure. Yeah, and then mhm, you mean Hamlet? Yeah, yeah, probably. Okay, or the third. Oh wait. Oh, what in the text exemplify? Oh wait. So what are some major themes that are prevalent? Um, there's a lot of, I think, like betrayal in all of it because like the whole like basis of it is that like the uncle kills the king, and so it's just like, and then the uncle like marries the mom, and so it's just like it's like a weird incest going on, and Hamlet is like really really hurt by that, and he just has to like, kind of like fulfill this prophecy, but like he knows that like the whole system is really corrupt and that his family is like betraying him and stuff. So, and then I think that's in scene two of Act One, where he is like has to sit there and just watch his mom be married to his uncle.
Don't you think that Hamlet might be also wrong with the kills, not because of his father? It's like, oh, I should have been the one who killed my father and married my mom. Don't you think that would be the case as well?
I mean, maybe he's, but he also maybe not though because he like says a lot in the text that like it's really weird because it's incest.
It's like, it's kind of related to Oedipus. It's like the
Yeah,
same thing. You know what
similar
I'm saying?
thing.
Yeah, and my mom's sister,
Mhm.
I forgot her name. She committed suicide as well.
Mhm.
She was like one of the major characters in this.
Yeah. Um. In Hamlet.
Not much of it. I think she's knows each other. And then it's also, you know, that it's like, wow,
Mhm. Yeah. It said that Hamlet at one point, I think it was at the end of scene two when he was saying that he was like really suicidal because of his whole family situation that he's in. Yeah, both of them have those suicidal thoughts, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I think what in the text exemplifies those themes was definitely the whole family betrayal, and I think like both the sons in both like Denmark and Norway going against their like new kings' backs to do their own thing is like kind of like sneaky, but it's also yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so I think that's good for number two. Um, the play is written for what type of audience? Hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of his plays were trying to do that, trying to like just advance everyone and make them think more about like philosophy and that kind of stuff. So I'd say that was probably the audience. Probably right. Not really too sure, but yeah. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Same. Yeah. But yeah, I think for the time it might have been like what's the word? Like new and like unheard of, I think. So some of his writing because it brought up a lot of like really controversial points like incest and like suicide and like divorce and like just a lot of things that were so super like taboo at the time, I'm guessing. So it was probably like a progressive play, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Probably. I mean, in his time, he's actually creative, and I would say he also Shakespeare added some spices from his own, to the story to make it loud.
Yeah. 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 So wait, so what do you think the audience is? What are they called? The yeah.
Or Elizabeth or something. I don't know how to pronounce it to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. That's yeah, makes sense. Okay. What imagery does the author use to keep the play slash act interesting? Yeah, I think so too. I think a lot of the dialogue is super like like in your face too. It's like super dramatic. Yeah, very. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I don't think I got that. I don't think I got that far. Yeah. I think in general, just like it's very like action packed and super like you don't really like know what's gonna come next unless you like know the play from beforehand. But I think it's like um hmm? Yeah, kind of yeah, and just very just like kind of absurd. Like yeah, yeah,
That's what I would say. But yeah, for the most part, yes, I agree with you.
yeah. Um, what techniques does the author use to help a general reader slash audience relate to the essay? Well, I think he ties in a lot of like I mean I think everyone has like family issues, probably not to that extent per se, but I think that like he added in a lot of like real life issues and emotions into like a really like non like realistic story. Like he talks about like suicide and like having to deal with like issues with like parents get like remarrying and like death and like love with Orpheus and all this stuff. So I think he talks about a lot of relatable things and that makes it relatable. But the story itself isn't like something that I think like the mass population would be able to relate to. But
You know, sometimes you have to add some stuff to the story in order to make it, especially Shakespeare wants it so.
yeah,
They try to make it easier to
really.
but it's still so much
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, probably. Yeah, a lot of sneaky stuff going on there. But what else? I was gonna add something about how it's relatable. Um, oh yeah, well I think part of it too is like part of like well Hamlet and the son of the king of Norway. I think they both kind of deal with like rebelling against their like parents or their like I don't know people. So I guess that's probably another related too is like trying to go like against the status quo and like doing your own thing and like yeah. 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 But it's like I feel like they like in Shakespeare when he was writing it, he put a lot of like relatable like emotions and like just phases of life and stuff like that, but put it into like such like a grand scale of like I don't know, like most people don't have their dad get poisoned by their uncle and then like I don't know. So
It's like you're talking about a king, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So when it's actually probably might be based on a real like story that happened. I'm not sure about this information, but it's like not every dad, I would say, not every father is a king.
Yeah.
So not everyone is trying to be a king.
Yeah, not everyone's fighting over land, different
But
countries and
even
like
it happened one time, I think in Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken. It's like the nephew took his uncle just to get you know what I'm saying?
yeah, weird.
It happens, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? People like control, like to be rich, famous, and that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's good for that one. What kind of descriptive language stands out? I thought that's a look at
Good question.
it. Yeah. Um,
I think it's like the words that Joseph words themselves.
well, I think honestly, it's kind of like hard to like read it and like really interpret it because it's in like old English. So when like it's kind of hard to like understand. But I think again, like a lot of the dialogue was really stood out. Yeah,
And that's like the most things that stands out, I would say.
yeah. I'm trying to look for specific examples because I know that there's a part. Well, I think a lot of like when they're talking about the ghost and how it was scary and everything, that was pretty descriptive. I think. Um, and then also like the conversation between Hamlet and the ghost, and I think it was like scene like 3 or 4. I think that was pretty descriptive because it showed a lot of like his fear and but also like curiosity because he wanted to figure out more about like the ghost and like what actually happened to his father and um, what he was going to do with his uncle and then whatever. So I think just like a lot of like the dialogue and like a lot of the emotions showed when he was talking to the ghost.
Don't you think also he wanted people like his audience Shakespeare to use their imagination because you know if you go back then the technology wasn't that great, you know,
Yeah.
so it's not such a great thing. But don't you think he wanted people to use their imagination and make it better
Mm-hmm.
to put it out there in the stage for the globe?
Yeah, probably. And I think like we said before, he used all of this like descriptive like language and dialogue and everything um, to like make it more relatable, but also make them uh, make like the audience think deeper into things. Like remember how we talked about how it made them more like philosophic and whatever, like watching the plays, it made them more educated and like think differently. So I think a lot of the language that he uses does that as well, probably for them.
Well, it's a good thing to use different language sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can like attract more audience, the curious people,
Mm-hmm.
and bring out the curiosity to make them research and stuff like that. or maybe go to him and ask him why he did that when he was alive. You never know.
Yeah.
He's dead. We can't ask him.
We can't ask him. Let's see. What's the most vivid image one might take away from the essay?
Is never trust anyone.
Never trust anyone.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if your brother has betrayed you, then how you can't trust anyone else?
Yeah. I think, but I don't really know. I have to think about that. The most vivid image that I would take away from that. I don't know. Honestly, I can't really get over the fact that his uncle actually married the mom. That's like really weird to me.
It's just weird, but to me, I'm trying to focus more on the betrayal itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If your brother betrayed you or your father did betray you, that's a close ahead. Let's say, for instance, if you were fighting with someone and they were really close to you, right? So if they hit you with a knife from close distance, it's probably hurt more than someone from long distance.
Yeah.
Especially if they know your weak spots.
Yeah.
And they know your weaknesses.
Yeah.
That's why I would say trust issues.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound good. Trust issues.
Yeah. I think just like general themes that you could pick up from this is like betrayal, rebellion, and I think like hunger for like power. I feel like they're all kind of power hungry. That's just like a theme. Like the uncle who killed the king is like obviously just was in it for the fame and power and whatever. And I think part of Hamlet is too. I think part of like Hamlet's intentions weren't very good, but yeah, I think that was it.
I mean, when you go back to the question where it was good or bad person, even the father himself wasn't that good based on the scenes. But to be honest, kind of like has a lot of valuable stuff in it to take away from, to learn not to do in the future. Or like it teaches you sometimes that you are in certain situations. It shows you who your real people are.
Yeah,
you know,
I
that you are by yourself all the time, and then nobody's got your back as much as you do. Mm-hmm. Because we have a saying that goes like that: nobody itches your back, it's just like your nail, right? Your nail itches it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird saying, but in some point I would agree with it.
Yeah. I agree with that too. Yeah. Okay. What was the major complication / problem in the act? How do you think it will be resolved? Well, there's a few major issues. One of the major issues is that they weren't really sure if the ghost was real or not, and then they brought like the attention of the ghost to Hamlet, and then Hamlet meets the ghost. So that was kind of resolved, but I think in Act One, it's never like Hamlet never gets his like revenge after he finds out that it was actually his uncle who killed his dad. But I think that the biggest issue, or like just like the biggest I guess complication, like that whole first act, was that like he finds out that his uncle killed his dad. That was like the biggest shocker, I think.
Justice.
Yeah.
The question is, if let's say for instance the ghost wasn't real, and the father and his uncle did not kill his father, let's say for instance, then what if Hamlet decided to kill him one day? Would it be like justice? And who would bring justice? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even if that happened and the uncle killed the father, then what is justice? Is it going to be by humans, brought up by humans, the governor, or is it going to be like at the end because of heaven and hell?
Yeah, it's like a spiritual thing or a physical thing.
So I don't know. To be honest, it's confusing a bit, but still, like, to me, I see it. That person should take, if it was real, they should investigate more, and then just give that person his punishment.
Yeah. I think
Life before death.
so. It says, "How do you think it will be resolved?" Well, I haven't read like the rest of the acts, but you were saying how you read that he ends up killing the uncle.
Has killed the uncle at the end. Like he was like, he stabbed him and then he poisoned him. He stabbed him with his father's sword.
Jeez,
So
rough.
that's a good revenge.
Yeah.
That.
Sounds kind of rough.
Do you think he would forgive himself? Like, how could you kill someone then like just go with it and live your life as you wish?
You mean, do you think that Hamlet would forgive himself or the uncle? Because you have to think the uncle did kill his dad. So it's not like he's just killing him for no reason. Like there's obviously some like really passionate anger behind that. Not saying that that's justified, but he's not he might have some regret because he's killing family, but there is also some like betrayal that happened within that act.
Yeah, but at the end you are human, especially if you're not psychopath person.
Yeah.
Then probably most likely you would dream about the death.
Yeah, I mean I'm sure he definitely had some like issues with like dealing with that action afterward. But also you have to think about how that was like a different time period where like I feel like just based off of like some readings that I've done and everything, that I feel like death and like the afterlife is just very glorified back then. So like people, I don't know, like people used to get like their heads chopped off and stuff like that. Like it was just like a like dramatic
It's still
time.
going on till today in some countries, I believe.
Yeah,
But not that way,
probably.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, they'll use electricity, shock someone, or execution, or like poison or something like that to kill someone who killed.
yeah.
But do you think it's justice to kill someone who killed?
I think that's more of just like a personal question. For me, I don't think so. Because I don't think that like you like there's no solution in that, like in doing that. Like that's like saying like do you like let's say you get caught cheating on something, but someone else is also cheating on it too. Like are you, even though you get caught and then they didn't get caught, what is turning in that other person for cheating going to do for you? Like you're not getting in any less trouble than they are. Like you know what I'm saying?
This is the point. Actually, that's different. I see it differently. You're not cheating until you get caught. You're not, that's how I see it. You're not cheating till you get caught. But killing, to me, it's like if before you put a punishment for someone, you should investigate it from A to Z. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say, for instance, that person came out that he killed that person on purpose for no good reason. So he should be killed because by the time, if you put him in like lifetime, sentence in jail, so you actually provide him free food, free place to stay, and like people to deal with, and he's or she is living life. You know what I'm saying? So probably other person who's homeless who doesn't have these resources would do the same to get in this position to live that life that he didn't have in the streets.
Okay, makes sense.
Well, like to me, death would make them fear to not kill another person.
I guess so. I think it's just like circumstantial. It depends on what the situation is. Personally, I wouldn't get justice from killing another person. Because two wrongs don't make a right.
I mean, most of the countries nowadays, like especially where I come from, like I come from Kuwait, yeah, and over there,
Wait, where do you come from?
Don't kill. Pardon?
Where do you come from?
Kuwait.
Oh, cool.
Like that, they don't kill people anymore. You know what I'm saying? They just okay, you killed someone, you're gonna get life sentence. It depends on how they did it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Texas, still to today, they do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The death sentences are really, yeah, that's an interesting concept. I don't really know how I feel about the whole death sentence thing because I mean, I think like getting the death sentence in a way is kind of an escape from your actual punishment. Like if imagine getting like a whole life in prison, like that's like way worse than I think just dying. I don't know, just like you don't think so?
To me, it won't make sense 100% because in jail you can actually sneak your phone in and like live your life the way you want it, and you might get a chance to run away or bribe someone. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I
But
guess, but
what is more expensive than your life to you?
what's more expensive to my than my life?
What is more important than your life? Like if you're dead, you can't do anything, and most of people fear death.
Yeah, but what's a life when you're stuck in prison? That's not living. You're just being alive.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's not to me that's not worth it. Like I wouldn't want to just be alive.
I agree with you, but like not most of people. Most of people don't see it that way. A lot of people see it otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't care. But
Yeah.
it depends on the person.
Yeah,
So if
depends.
death makes them fear everything, then I would say that's the best way to put it. Because, as they said, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die.
Yeah.
So everybody is fearing death. So I would think if you put death as a punishment, then nobody will go that far, especially if a person has family.
Yeah. That's true. Makes sense. Okay, I think we're done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and stop this recording and see.
It did record.